Welcome back to another episode of Unpacking Life with the box, Ricky, and the basket, Vanessa.
Can't do my full hand.
We're coming to you from our lovely couch that Vanessa just completely adores. And I think she got the cushions a little too deep, so it's unless you're like 7 foot tall, you're not going to sit comfortably on
We're
here.
not talking about that right now.
But anyways, that's actually, it kind of is, because we're kind of covering some hobbies that we like to do, some work-life balance, and some self-care stuff.
Yeah.
And I think one of your hobbies is buying unnecessary crap. So,
We're just going to jump right into it.
But before we get started on this wonderful podcast, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we appreciate you for listening. So today I got to do one of my favorite hobbies.
Recently
Newly
new
found favorite hobby is playing golf. So one of my neighbors had been inviting me forever. And I think the last time I played was in like 2012 when my buddy Austin and I were just sitting there on a Sunday watching TV and golf was on. There was nothing else on. And we got a wild hair up our butt and we're like, let's go golfing. So we like went to the golf course and I didn't know anything about golf and we were holding up the people behind us and it was terrible. So I'd never golfed again until last summer, at the end of last summer, and I just like fell in love with it. And
which I kind of understand. It like looks so boring.
Yeah, but it's so hard and challenging. I think that's why I like it so much.
I was gonna say, why do you like it?
Because it's hard and challenges me, and I suck at it. So I want to get better. But if you know me, if I find a hobby or something that I like, I'm like 100% in. I dive in all the way. I need all the gear. I need all the time to do it. And hopefully my wife lets me do
it. He's just so extra. Like, I don't know what recently. Oh, we're going to play cornhole all summer. Let's buy $800 cornhole boards. And then we're going to buy custom-made cornhole bags. And then I need a carrier to hold the cornhole bags. And then I need a mat to put the cornhole board on.
Yeah, because then they slide.
And it's just a whole production.
Yeah.
It reminds me of my brother when...
Which one?
Georgie. When he was a kid, he would always get these things up his butt as well. And like one time he got into bowling.
I love
and he had his own bowling ball.
That's coming next. I hope you know that. That's going to be my winter league.
When are you going to do all this stuff?
When the
you
golf
still
course
have a wife
closes.
and 3 kids.
I know you guys can come too. Eat some chili cheese fries while I'm slinging the bowling ball.
Okay. So, and then he got into go-kart racing, and I think he was looking into buying a go-kart. And then...
It got pricey.
He was into his turtles. And then I killed one.
Tortoise? You killed a turtle?
Do
tell, you murderer.
It was the summer, and every once in a while, he would let his turtles out in the grass in the yard.
Oh, I remember.
And one day he came out, he tells the story like this. And one day Vanessa came home from her friends, and she was going through the grass. And in slow motion, I could see her walking in the grass with her big ass feet. Actually, I have little feet. And then I told her, no! And poof, she crushed my turtle.
I'm going to have to ask him when we go over there.
I stepped on the turtle. I think that's how the turtle died. At least that's what I've thought all my life, that I killed his turtle.
What if it had like cancer and it was already dead?
No. And then we buried it in a Pop-Tart box.
In Germany?
Yeah. It's still there. It was a rental house too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you remember where it's at?
Vaguely.
We should go back to the house and put like a little baby cross where you buried it and send a picture to Georgia.
Yeah, right. They won't let us in their yard. So, yeah, golf.
Tell them.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's fun. So yeah, this morning I got to go take a lesson with a friend of ours. who's a PGA pro, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to learn a lot, and I'm going tomorrow to actually play 18, so that should be fun, and hopefully I can put some of that to use. But yeah, that's my most recent and current all-in hobby. It'll change in the winter when I can't play golf that much.
I wish you would take up the hobby of skiing or snowboarding.
So I can break my leg again? No thanks.
What? You're not in police work anymore. It's going to be fine.
I know. I would totally do snowboarding. But then you try to convince me to do skiing, and I hear all those accidents where like the skis lock up and break both their knees. That doesn't sound fun.
Well, just don't do that. And you'll be fine.
Well, I'm sure the people that broke their knees didn't want to do that either.
Oh, what other hobbies do we have? So you think my hobby is buying unnecessary stuff? That's not true.
Returning. For sure.
That's not a hobby. We talked
about that last one.
You think I like returning stuff? If it doesn't work, then I want my money back. I don't want to be a hoarder and have all this unnecessary stuff that we don't need and I don't like that's not hanging on the wall, so I return it. But buying a couch, buying decoration is making a house a home. That's not a hobby necessarily. It's just part of being a woman. You have to do those things.
Really? Every woman does it?
I think so. Every woman I know.
Okay. What's your hobby?
I need to be better about having hobbies.
Yeah, you do.
I want to be...
You need to be better about hobbies, work-life balance, and self-care.
Yeah.
Especially self-care.
I think that...
You don't have a hobby?
I want to have hobbies. I want to play tennis.
Yeah.
I want to go skiing.
But do your hobby... Like, I could go do my hobby alone.
Mm-hmm.
Can you go do your hobby alone?
No.
Or I have to be there with you?
You have to be there. I'm a codependent.
So your hobby has to be my hobby.
I'm a codependent hobbyist. I would consider jiu-jitsu and kickboxing a hobby. I'm not good at kickboxing at all. The jury's still out on jiu-jitsu. Yeah. The whole kicking and like, jiu-jitsu is easier to me in a way. Mm-hmm. Because you're on the floor, usually.
Yeah.
And it's just not as much like lifting your leg in the air. I suck at it, but we go because, there are friends that own it and run the program.
So,
but it's like mentally challenging jiu-jitsu because it's like you're up against these other people that really know what they're doing and you don't. But you're on the floor and they're trying to choke you. So like you just get this inner flame in you where you're like, I'm going to get better. Yeah. And it's really, I can't explain it, and I probably should talk to my therapist, but maybe I'll ask Johnny actually. But when you're doing it, when you leave, you feel so much better, and like you want to go again.
Yeah. Like
you don't want to stop.
Except for Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those are conditioning days.
Well, I don't show up on those days. So that, but I think it's important to have a hobby just because... Like, life shouldn't be all about just working, coming home, watching TV. Right. I mean, if your hobby is watching TV, then sure, but I feel like there's more to life. And it's fun. You make memories with other people, usually. I don't know. Yeah. I wouldn't say that working out is one of my hobbies. I really don't care for it. I just do it so that, my body doesn't shut down, but... Yeah.
I have, I guess, another active hobby. I collect challenge coins. Mm-hmm. I know you don't like that, but so I collected challenge coins since I was in the military. We would always, try to get coined and stuff from like generals. And in 2009, I was at the Fort Hood shooting massacre, where that dude killed like 13 people. So I got to do the like casket loading detail for all of them, and like a lot of the, I guess, defense secretary staff and stuff like that from the government was there, and they came up to us and shook our hands and stuff, and the president was there giving a speech and stuff, but we're all like hoping to get a coin from the president because that's like the highest. So if you don't know what a challenge coin is, basically it's this little coin where either a person or a unit, like military normally, makes these coins, and the higher ranking coin that you get, the idea is that you go to like the VFW or like a veterans bar, and you put your coin on the table, and if you can't beat that coin with like a higher rank, then that person owes you a drink. Mm-hmm. And so everybody was trying to get the presidential coin because that's like the highest coin you can get. Mm-hmm. But we
drinks
didn't get
for everybody.
Yeah, so we didn't get that coin. Mm-hmm. And then some freaking 1-star general comes and he like shakes our hands and gives us all the coin. I don't want this damn thing. I still have it.
So honestly, ungrateful.
But yeah, so I think the highest in the military one that I have is like a 3-star general. But that's kind of like where my love for challenge coins started, collecting and stuff. And then I kind of fell off for a long time. And then once I became a cop, a lot of cops and like police units start making their own challenge coins. And yeah, it was a whole thing. So I don't know. How many coins do you think I have? Like a couple hundred?
Yeah.
Like 200 or 300 maybe?
Yeah.
And
it's insane.
Yeah.
And again, he takes up a hobby, so he has to go all in. So he has the coin holder, the coin polish, the coin
polish.
I'm just exaggerating, but he has all these things that go with the coins. It's just excessive, but whatever, if it makes him happy.
And so everywhere we go, I try to contact like the local PDs. And
the airport, the Disney. Oh, there's a cop. You think he has a coin? I'm like, I don't know. Everywhere we would see a cop.
Yeah.
A cop has someone pulled over. They're arresting a drunk guy, but there's 3 other cops that are not doing anything. You think they have a challenge coin? I don't know. Go ask them. When we were in Florida, they were actively arresting somebody. Yeah.
No, they weren't.
Yes,
they were all just standing
there. They had somebody detained.
No.
Yes, they did.
Like 100%. Down the street, there was like 5 of them standing. The whole department was standing there. They still had somebody detained. But he hooked me up. He gave me one of his SWAT patches. But yeah, so everywhere I go, I try to take some of my challenge coins from my department. And I actually made one for my unit when I was a negotiator.
Your old unit. You're not there anymore.
Yeah, when I was there. That's what I said. Anyways. So I made a coin for my unit when I was there. And so I'll take all those with me. And if I see another cop or something, I'll just ask them. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times we get to exchange coins and stuff, so that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. What? And then so patches was before the coins, right? Yeah. I have a whole flag, like full of patches from different departments and stuff, so it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I don't collect anything really.
I know, you're like the anti-collector.
Mm-hmm. I throw everything away, I donate it.
Yeah.
Clutter is really... I guess that is a form of self-care for me.
I know, Sunday
like
you were
organizing
busy.
And getting rid of stuff. Just because, like, clutter makes me nuts. And if I see stuff laying around everywhere, it just grinds my last nerve. And then I feel like chaos in my brain. So, like, if everything has a place and everything is organized and I don't have a lot of stuff to organize, it makes it easier to clean up. It makes everything, like, so much more doable for me. So, it is like a form of self-care. And do you know that there's several ways to like rest and do self-care? Because most people, I read this somewhere or heard it, that if you're resting, you think like automatically like, oh, you're taking a nap or you're like sitting on the couch watching TV. Mm-hmm. But there's different types of rest. And
mine's
one of
my
them,
nothing box.
We know.
That's my favorite.
I think everyone's heard about it by now. That's what you want to do all day long is be in your nothing box.
Sit in my nothing box.
But there's like active rest, mental
active rest.
Like active rest where you ever sit, well, no. But it's like if you're sitting on the couch, but you don't feel relaxed. So you need active rest. For me, active rest is like on Sunday, I went down a spiral. Yeah.
So Sunday, a couple days ago, Saturday, we were talking about Sunday because we've been super busy like the last few weeks. So we're like, man, Sunday, like we have nothing on the calendar. We don't have to go anywhere. We don't have to go see anybody. Like we'll just have a family day. We'll play board games with the kids. We'll hang out, play some Mario Kart, maybe go on a walk. And I think we came downstairs at like 9. 9:30, and we had breakfast. And then Vanessa just jumped into action, and we didn't see her again until like 5 in the evening, because we needed to go to the store to get some supplies. And so she was upstairs. Just, I don't even know what she did. I just stayed away from her. I was down here watching the games.
I asked you if you were okay with it. You're like, yeah, as long as your spiral doesn't take over me.
Yeah.
But it was active rest for me. I had like this burst of energy where I had to go through the kids' closets and the kids' drawers and their clothes and what fits them and what doesn't fit them. So I spent a lot of time with them. Probably not time that they wanted to spend.
I know.
But afterwards, like, Aubrey was grateful that I helped her go through all her stuff. And then she knew she needed more shorts and more socks. Dion said he wants more decorations. And, like, it is bonding time in a way. But it just, like, when that hits me, I have to do those things. It's like active rest for me. Like,
No.
I don't know how to describe it. But then there's mental rest, like, just relaxing your brain, like reading or playing a board game or playing chess or like those brain puzzles that like
make your brain work.
And then there's something else, but I'm not gonna look it up because I forgot right now. But I think it's important to, I guess that kind of leads into work-life balance.
Yeah.
So a couple weeks ago we posted on Instagram like topics or questions anybody had, and a couple people asked us like, how do we do work-life balance and how does that look like for us? And honestly, it's just depends.
Yeah.
Like every week is different. And I think the key to it is that just to like be flexible, plan ahead, and be on the same page.
Yeah.
So like we don't try to plan. We plan big like trips and like big things. Right. We plan around. Like we're going to Vegas for the jiu-jitsu tournament in August. Like those things we plan for and we know those are happening. But then other than that, there's some monthly things and some quarterly things. And of course, throughout the week, the kids have their sports and activities and we have our sports and activities. But we just kind of go week by week and kind of like touch base on the weekend and look at what we have for the remainder of the week and how we can like divvy it up. Yeah. What days are best to get this done. Like Wednesday's pretty open. We'll do this on that day and just like planning ahead and talking about it. I think the challenge people have is that they're so stuck on like, I need to have a routine. I need to have a schedule, that life happens, especially in real estate. Like if you're in any kind of business that you run yourself, and you can't really control your hours, things come up and then it throws you for a loop and now your whole schedule's out the window. Yeah. And now you're feeling frustrated. Whereas if you go into it with a little bit more flexibility, like these are the things I have to get done. Everything else I'm going to kind of puzzle around what the week looks like.
Right. Yeah, before I even quit the PD, I think we had like tried to sit down and like make a schedule of what our day was going to look like. And I don't think we stuck to that once just because we have been so busy. Yeah. Once I quit, we went on a couple trips, just kind of like reset trips. And then we've just been at a full sprint since then. So I think this is like the first week where it's kind of mellowed down a little. So we're like, we've been very busy, but we kind of feel it too. I know I have, where, I'm out almost every night showing houses or meeting with clients and stuff or taking phone calls. And I see the kids and I'm like, man, I miss them. Like we need to spend time with them. So I think once you start getting that feeling, or before you start getting that feeling, is just trying to plan that balance of, all right, like I've been working a lot. I need more family time. So, but I think we do a pretty good job of that.
I think we're just aware of it. Yeah. Right? Both of us. So being on the same page, I think, is a big factor in that you, like, if you have no awareness of it and I'm constantly like, we need to spend more time with the kids or need to do more stuff together, then we're going to like bump heads probably. But we're kind of like, we want the same things out of life. We have the same view about like memories and things as opposed to money. Right. That we're not afraid to say no. And like in real estate, a lot of things, there are a lot of things that you have to do, right? But
Mm-hmm.
most of the things don't have to get done right this second.
Right.
So I think beyond the stuff that needs to get done right now, just being able to say, okay, like it's enough for the day. And now we're going to like block off time just to spend time with the kids or the family or do self-care or hang out with a friend or friends, go do a hobby, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's important. And just being aware of it. And like, if it's not working for whatever you're doing, if that's not working, I think just communicating, even if you're by yourself, like just reflect, like what's not working about this and try
Right.
something else. And then if that doesn't work, then try something else, and just being open to other people's ideas or like other ways of doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a big thing, because for a while I was like, okay, well, on this day I'm going to do this. On this day I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And then I would get so frustrated because it'd be Monday and I'm like, well, today I'm supposed to do social media. But then client stuff would pop up and I wouldn't
Right.
get it done. So for me, it was really like kind of dissecting everything. What am I doing every day? What can I group together? How can I manage my time more efficiently? I think that's another thing that people don't realize, that we waste a lot of time. Like if you have an errand to run, for example, and you need to return something to Amazon. Why are you laughing?
You know what?
I don't know why. But
You
then
have to
you
make a
also have to
return?
pick up groceries,
Shocker.
right? So on Monday, you go on to Amazon. On Tuesday, you go to pick up groceries. On Wednesday, you go to the bank to deposit a check. On Thursday, you go to Sprouts to get something organic that you
Yeah.
want. Now every day, you've spent like an hour or so running an errand.
Yeah.
Like I'm a big fan of grouping things together. Like just pick a day
getting it
where you're
all
going to go
knocked
run
out.
your errands and then map it out. Like I'm going to go to the bank and then I'm going to go to Sprouts and then I'm going to go to UPS to return this and then I'm going to go here. And then it might only take you like 2 hours, if that, because you're already out. So just do it all.
Right.
So I think sometimes people get like, okay, I need to do it right now. Like just wait and think about it logically. Like what can I group together?
Yeah.
Same for like when I update my spreadsheets. I try to only like, okay, if I have an hour or two, I'm going to update them all instead of doing like 20 minutes every single day
Mm-hmm.
and just wasting time that way. So I think it's just like reflecting on what you're doing. Like sometimes I have a business coach, and she said, keep like a record or write down like for a week everything you're doing. Like what time did you wake up? What did you do? How long did it take you? And then like analyze your week at the end of the week and see where you're wasting a lot of time. Like how can you condense everything and free up more time that you have?
Yeah.
Obviously, if you have like a 9 to 5, that's very limiting, because if you don't leave your job until 5 o'clock, then you're not going to have, that much wiggle room. But you still have to run errands. You still have to go to a
Right.
grocery store. You still have to get groceries. Well, you don't have to go to a grocery store. You can get them delivered. But, just managing your time.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
And I think the other big thing with us is that, like, we cover each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like the last couple of weeks when, I've been showing houses later in the evening, like after the kids are home, you've been pretty good about taking them and doing everything that needs to be done with them at home, so I don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa,
Mhm.
where, if you have to go somewhere or do something, then there's no issue with me taking the kids to their events and stuff like that. So, but also I think it's really important, and you're pretty good about it, especially on like Saturdays when you go to like kickboxing and jiu-jitsu, just making that time for yourself and not booking stuff during that time.
I've been really good about like drawing a hard line on Saturday
Yeah.
mornings, which I
'Cause I don't
made
think
a
you've
couple
missed in a while.
exceptions, but only like we missed when we were in Mexico,
Right.
obviously.
Yeah.
And then one time I did have to be in Boulder, but like last weekend I was supposed to be in Boulder, and I had the other agent show it for me, and I
Right.
made it to kickboxing and jiu-jitsu. I mean, it's one day a week, and I could go, like they have classes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday evening from what, 7 to 9, basically.
Yeah, basically.
And you go to that. It's hard for me to go as well because the kids have to be in bed by 8 o'clock. So it's just like a whole disaster. I think in the summer it will be easier. So I used to go to some of those, but then like I would leave early and they would like, Johnny would like accommodate me and I just always felt bad. So now I think in the summer it'll be easier because the kids can stay up longer. But with all that being said, like Saturday I draw a hard line and I try to go to those. But also like last week I didn't go to kickboxing. So kickboxing's at 8 and women's jiu-jitsu is at 9. And last week, Friday, was so hard.
Yeah, it was a long day.
I helped my seller get out of their house. There was a bunch of drama going on. It was like mentally exhausting. And on Friday night, I already knew. I was like, I'm sleeping in tomorrow. If I wake up at 7, I'm going to go to kickboxing. But I'm not setting my alarm until 8 so I can make it to jiu-jitsu at the very least.
Right.
And I did. I slept in and I didn't go to kickboxing. I didn't feel bad about it. But I went to jiu-jitsu and it felt great. And that was that.
Yeah.
But I think just like listening to your body, listening to yourself.
What do you consider self-care?
So this is a wild one for me because I see a lot of other moms posting like, oh, I'm getting my nails done. I'm getting my toes done. I'm getting my hair done. It's self-care. And that's like, if that's self-care for them, that's great. For me, I don't think it's self-care. I think it's maintenance. I think it's a pain in the ass. I actually hate it.
To get your nails done?
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I have to do it. Like my toes look horrible. I have to be on the mat with them. Nobody really cares. But like my nails recently, I ripped them all off because I was tired. Like it takes time out of my day where I'm like have momentum and the kids are gone. So I feel guilty. And it's just not like I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy sitting there and them messing around. Like I guess I could make it more enjoyable. Maybe I need to like bring a book or like listen to something.
An audio
but
book.
That's not my idea of self-care. No. I do like getting massages. I do like getting facials because I like not aging. I do like doing those things.
Yeah.
But like I'm not into shopping. I'm not into the like I'll get my nails done and stuff. Shopping online but not going to the store. So for me, I think self-care is like spending time with myself and like watching a stupid show that you won't watch with me.
Yeah.
Spending time with like my girlfriends, talking to them on the phone. And
all the dramas.
Not the dramas.
Yeah.
What else could be self-care for me? What else do I do?
I think recently, we both just started going back to Brooke for the massages. That's been really good. That's probably my favorite thing for self-care.
I do love it because then my body actually feels better. I also want to start the stretching thing, like the stretch lab where they stretch you out real good.
Yeah.
Because then like anything that actually makes my body feel better, like getting your nails done does not make my body feel better. Actually, it makes it feel worse because I'm breathing the chemicals and then I'm like...
Oh my gosh, you're so dramatic.
Unpopular opinion.
Yeah. I was just going to say, like when you scratch my back with your nails, I wish I could just get like an hour and a half of massage of that. That'd be great. Going to the chiropractor now. Like...
You're all messed up.
I know.
But do you enjoy going? Or you just like it's a checklist thing?
I've only been there twice so far, so it's like it feels good when he cracks my back and my neck and everything. And that little foam roller bed thing, I think is awesome. We need one of those for the house.
Here we go again. He needs everything.
We can put it in the basement.
No.
That thing is great. And so it's like while I'm there, I'm good, and then of course, the next day or so, I'm like back to being sore, but it's not as bad as before, I guess. So
I think it
with
takes
more
a long
visits,
time.
Yeah, with more visits, I think it'll clear up and feel a little better.
I think self-care is different for everybody.
Yeah, Because even for me, like those nights that I stay up late and just go down to the basement and play video games.
Nothing box territory.
Yep, that's my nothing cage. I think that's like my self-care, where I'm just alone. I can watch whatever the hell I want. I can listen to whatever the hell I want. Play with whatever I want. So I enjoy that. I think that's like my at-home self-care.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like getting the massages. Jiu-jitsu, I enjoy it.
It's a hobby more, right?
Yeah, but it's not like self-care.
No,
I know like
because
for some people though that are there, it's like meditation for them.
Really?
Yeah. I know Johnny really enjoys it. But he's been teaching it for a little
Well,
bit.
I think it's more like his passion.
Yeah.
Than opposed to like self-care.
But I think that's like his time to get out of the house and just kind of hang out with the guys and choke some people out.
Yeah.
But
he's a really good teacher also. So I think it's just a few things for him. But I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely more a hobby because self-care, you just...
But
you need self-care after you go to jiu-jitsu because your back's messed up, your leg's messed up, everything.
No, but like even last week and the week before when I was like showing houses late and I would just go straight to jiu-jitsu, I went straight to jiu-jitsu. It was like I had like a long stressful day and just go in there would just kind of like you don't have to think about much. You just kind of roll, and it was pretty good. It kind of alleviated my stress levels for the night.
So for kickboxing, like I'm kicking and we're punching and I can still kind of like think about work.
Yeah.
Because it's more repetitive and it's not that hard even though I suck at it. It's like the instructions are simpler, right? Like it's one thing that you're doing over and over, or two or three. Where jiu-jitsu, there's like several things and like you have to move your body and do this, where it's just more intricate and like I have to pay attention. And I'm there for an hour. And I think that's like part of where I really enjoy it because I like have to turn off and I have to like work with myself and like challenge myself. And I think that part of it is what like gets you so like, I don't know, happy or releases endorphins or something. Like, you wouldn't think that you would go to something, somebody chokes you out or like maneuvers your arm and like cranks it and tries to like, I mean, we tap and they stop, but like,
so you're a tap away from happiness. So.
Things still hurt, right?
Yeah.
And then afterwards, you're so happy that you went and like it's a good time and.
Yeah, but I think it's just like working out.
Satisfying. Meh.
No.
Working out for me, no.
Not working out, but like just doing something active, like going for a walk or lifting weights.
I don't agree.
Doing...
It's different because like when I'm lifting weights, I'm like, oh, I have to do this and I have to do this and I have to do that. Where like
you're just locked in on jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair.
So
but whatever your hobby is, whatever you do for self-care, just keep doing it.
Find a hobby if you don't have one.
Yeah.
I think like what is the point of like living life and working and doing all these things if you have nothing that makes you happy? Yeah. Like if your hobby is traveling, if your hobby is like collecting stamps or like plants or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think also like I know before in a previous episode we talked about like keeping up with the Joneses. I think sometimes there has to be a word for it where people try to copy other people's hobbies or self-care. Like, oh, I watched somebody on Instagram and they're getting their hair done and their nails done every week. I must do that too so that I'm doing self-care. But like, does that really even work for you?
Yeah, I think it's okay to at least try it just to see if you enjoy it and then keep doing it after.
But like if everybody's doing that, doesn't mean you have to do it. Just find what makes you happy truly and do that instead.
So let us know what your favorite hobbies are and maybe we'll try them out. Let you know how it goes.
God, please don't try it.
Don't say running because nobody actually enjoys that shit.
People do enjoy it.
Running? Oh, it's the most
I don't see how, but
maybe I'm just too top heavy for running. Too much weight coming down.
I don't know.
But let us know in the comments what your favorite hobby, favorite self-care is.
And what your tips for work-life balance are.
So, can't wait to hear them. And thank you very much for watching another episode of Unpacking Life, or listening, however you're getting the content. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.